Welcome to Rich Places YouTube channel. Today, I am talking about Chad's ultimate guide to checking smart contracts. As a typical Etherscan user, you are likely to have a rough understanding of how smart contracts work. You might even have delved into the red contracts section of a recent deployment and enjoyed the quirky ASCII art of a popular meme that the dev has jokingly left at the top of the text. However, checking contracts in detail can be a confusing process, especially if you've got limited experience with writing code, yet it remains a critical skill if you are to successfully navigate the wild west of crypto unscathed. In this video, we will teach you how to spot some of the more critical contract features that could save you from making some costly mistakes in your journey through the metaverse. For now, we are going to focus on checking for two critical elements: maximum transaction limit and renunciation of contract ownership. To discover the maximum transaction limit for a particular contract, a parameter that is critical if you are, for example, looking to snipe a new listing. Let's start with checking the number of decimals used in that contract. First, you need to visit etherscan.io, then search for the token. For the sake of this video, we will use the Clifford Inu contract as a case study. After that, click on Contract, then click Red Contract and search for decimals. In this case, we can see the decimals function listed at number 10 in the Read Contract section. This contract uses 18 decimals, which is usually the case. Others may only use 9 decimals. We will then scroll down searching for the max wallet and max transaction amount max wallet functions. Here these are listed at function 20 and 21 and return values of 5 and 17 zeros and 1 plus 17 zeros respectively. This doesn't make much sense, but what we are going to do now is remove the decimals that we pulled from the function above. In this case, we simply remove 18 zeros. This leads to a max tax of 5 billion and a max wallet of 10 billion. This means that the most Cliff token you can buy in a single transaction is 5 billion Cliff tokens, and the most Cliff token a wallet can hold at any time is 10 billion Cliff tokens. The max tax and max wallet can be turned on and off by the contract owner. For example, these settings are often only activated during launch to help prevent anyone's wallet from acquiring a disproportionately large percentage of the token supply, and then switched back off again. In the case of Cliff token, we can see that the function has been turned off by looking at limits in effect at function 15. This returns false, meaning that there is currently no max tax or max wallet. If we search the contract for limits in effect in the code section, we can see the lines allowing the contract owner to remove the limits. In order to change the contract limits, the owner would simply go to the right functions and input new values under functions 19 and 20. But who is the contract owner? To find out who the contract owner is, go back to the Read Contract page and look for owner, which for Cliff token is listed at function 23. Querying this function shows us that the contract owner is. This shows us that the owner has not been renounced, meaning the owner can still call functions on the contract and change limits. When the ownership is renounced, the query would return the owner address as either being the 0000's deed address or the address of a time lock contract. During a new token launch, we can look out for the contract owner calling the function to renounce, as the owner calls the function below and uses 0000's deed as the input. This shows us that the ownership has not been renounced, meaning the owner can still call functions on the contract and change limits. Remember, just because contract ownership is renounced doesn't mean the token is safe. For example, a contract could still be a honeypot before that LP could be unlocked or set on a very short expiry. These things also need to be thoroughly checked, but thankfully, we Chads tend to do the heavy lifting for you. We hope this video provided a useful insight into reading smart contracts and would encourage you to become familiar with Etherscan and to take responsibility for querying contracts you ape into yourself rather than relying solely on input from others.